FatEnzo.com, 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 FatEnzo.com. FatEnzo.com.
Wow, what up, man? Howdy, city slickers, country bumpkins, mountain dwellers, beach bums, actual bums, illegal aliens, literal alien, space monkeys, tourists, town folk, and every other form of human idiot. I'm your brother from another mother, Bobby Pickles, a.k.a. Noble Scum, a.k.a. Based Scum. Thank you so much. No, fuck that. You guys are assholes, and I'm thoughtless and ungrateful and extremely unappreciative of the fact that you are checking into my Tuesday evening stream. From the shaft of America's penis to deep in the heart of Texas, I shall podcast tonight with my guest, Ty Richards, a super talented multi-instrumental recording artist whose electro-rock music sounds like a cross between Queens of the Stone Age and DEVO. Ty has also fathered 6 children, which is an amazing feat by Western standards. And speaking of the West, it was Ty's single Western Chauvinist of his second studio album release, Welcome to Flat Earth, which earned him a banning from the very famous Austin College radio station KUTX. Along with the embargo, he has been blacklisted from all Austin clubs, dropped by his publicist, and basically driven out of town. When it rains, it pours. And all this after being revered and dubbed KUTX 98.9 Austin's coveted Artist of the Month during South by Southwest. Ty is currently working on his 3rd studio album, plus he's a graphic designer and web developer. I do not value my audience, but I do respect my company. Get ready for my interrogation of Ty Richards. Welcome to episode 177 of Bobby Pickles Podcast.
That's me.
Oh, yeah. That's me. How's it going, Ty? Que paso, Ty? Gracias.
Bueno.
Gracias por being en el programa de esta noche. That's some Spanglish for you. Found it fitting, you being from Tejas and everything. You know?
You sound like you're from Texas because they mispronounce every Mexican thing, like Amarillo. You know, I don't know. Amarillo, Manchaca, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm close to being from Texas. I'm from Florida, so it's kind of close, right?
Yeah, close enough. That's as close as you can get to Texas.
It's close enough. I mean, we have a lot of illegal aliens as well. You know, we call them saltwater Mexicans. I think you guys just refer to them as Mexicans. So, but anyway, you cut your hair, man. That's the first thing I'm noticing.
Yeah, I lost about 30 inches of hair and maybe 30 pounds of hair. I don't know how much hair it was. It was a lot of hair.
You don't mind the marijuana, do you?
You do your thing, man. You do you.
All right, thank you, man. I'm not trying to do anything that's going to cause any further blemishes on you. Florida, and Yeah, saltwater Mexicans. Anyway, long hair. Yeah, how long have you been cutting your hair? I mean, how long were you growing your hair for?
Yeah, I grew it for probably maybe 4 years, and I was kind of repressed as a kid, so that was my rebellious phase, was as an adult, not as a teenager. And then I don't know, I kind of had my time. I don't think I'll ever grow out again. I think it was time to move on, and I was done maintaining it. Felt like a woman maintaining all that hair.
Yeah, I have long hair. I feel like a woman sometimes. I don't know if it's the hair all the time, but yeah. Anyway, so, but does it have anything to do with Trump? There's a lot of my friends grew their hair during the Trump era, and I did too. And I kind of, it was kind of like, the big man, how he has his ridiculous hair. He doesn't really care, I think it gives you power, kind of. Did it have anything to do with that?
No, I was growing out before that. I think moving to Austin, I feel like I got to kind of experience the last breath and death of the Austin music scene. And when I moved to Austin, probably in 2014, I was feeling the vibe. Austin did, I would say it doesn't anymore, but it did have a vibe for the longest time. And I kind of caught the, even though I'm a dad and, I've got all the responsibilities of a dad, I felt that feeling of, I can be a dad and make records and do, not typical dad stuff, like grow your hair out 30 inches and make records. So, it was before Trump stuff started coming up for me, at least. And it was actually 2018 when I cut my hair. So my hair's actually been cut for like 2 years now.
And so where are you from originally?
I claim Texas as, I claim myself as a Texan, I guess. I was technically born in Detroit, or, close to Detroit, Michigan. But by the time I was like 4 years old, I was living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Nice. No, I have problems with where I was born as well. I get so mad about it. Actually, it's hard for me to be honest about it.
I'm not claiming Michigan. I'm not like sweet. I'm a Michiganian. I don't even know what the hell they call themselves. But
no, you were an Austinite, I guess. Is that the word? I don't know. But now you're not living in Austin. You lived in Austin for a little while, and that's where your name was made, and you got all this the music stuff, and we're going to talk about that and everything. But now you're living elsewhere. I mean, do they run musicians out of Austin frequently? Has a precedent been set? I know a few other bands have been banished from the capital of Texas.
Well, yeah. Well, I think you have to remember this. Every musician is actually banned from Austin, not just because of COVID, but even before COVID. It is so expensive now to live in Austin that musicians can't live in Austin. So all the California folks have moved into Austin, and they've bought everything. They bought all the property on sale to them because they're in California and everything's like astronomical. So to buy stuff in Texas is insanely cheap to them, and they've jacked all the prices up. So any like legit musician that I know that lives in Austin doesn't actually live in Austin. They all live outside of Austin because none of them can afford to live in $1 million homes in Austin. But yeah, so I mean, for that reason, everyone is banned. But also, I am in good company with quite a few people who are officially banned from Austin. Matt and Doris of Dream Machine. I'm friends with them. There's a good group of folks that have been
I saw your interview. I saw your interview with Dream Machine. What's the deal with that band? I guess the lead singer, the girl, the female vocalist, she said something about illegal aliens or something like that coming over here because she herself is she immigrated to America.
Yeah, she went through the whole process of getting the green card and doing that whole bit. She was from Europe, and she just said common sense stuff that everybody says about, especially if you're an immigrant, you went through the process, and then there's, potentially tens of thousands of people who are just, jumping the line, I'd be pretty pissed too. I'd probably be more pissed if I was her. Yeah. So it was kind of understandable. It's usually for very logical things.
And where the hell is the Alamo? Because I've never been to Texas before, and Ozzy pissed on the Alamo. So he got banned out of there.
Yeah, it's not in Austin. It's in San Antonio.
Okay.
Alamo, yeah. That's kind of what I love about Texas is like in Texas, you're required to learn Texas history before you even learn U.S. history. It's more important than U.S. history. It has its own, its own storyline, its own vibe, its own mantra. And even the thing about the Alamo, it's like the Alamo was a big ass failure. Like everybody died. Remember the Alamo. It's a very different story than the rest of America, but somehow it's more American to me than the actual story of America.
Wow, that's cool, man. So that's what they teach you in school. You guys, when you moseyed on over there from Michigan, they started teaching you your little mind about Texas and stuff like that. First,
but you gotta mold it to the Texas. Texas zeitgeist.
That's great, man. And our illegal aliens, they're getting that history lesson as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, honestly, I've been out of the public school system for a while. I'm an adult now, I guess, but I do have children. I have quite a few of them, and we do not do public school. We do homeschool.
Yeah, man, you do homeschool? Oh my God, your wife is very very busy all day, huh? You do? Yeah. You participate as well in the homeschooling?
Yeah, I do as much as I can. We definitely have, if traditionalism is the new punk rock, we are very whatever. I hate to say punk rock, but we're very traditional in that sense. So I'm the provider, bring home the bread. I'm the bread winner, and she's the homemaker. So it's funny, we have all these things about our lives that are very modern. Like I'm a musician, I'm a web developer, I'm a graphic designer. That all seems modern per se, but at the same time, like our house is run like very traditionally. We've got 6 children, and we do homeschool. I'm the only one that works. It's very very old school.
That's awesome. Conservatism is the new punk rock. You are absolutely correct. And it's so crazy. I don't know how we got to this point, but gosh, man, that's really the truth, Yeah,
everything is turned on its head. And I think also like what I've realized is that all of the rebellious Generation X, like 80s and 90s, like punk rock, a lot of that was just so commercialized that I realized it was kind of like, I don't know how to say it. It's just a commercialized punk rock. It was like a packaged punk rock. Like, here it is, be rebellious this way. And it was very, I don't know, contrived and, created by the authorities.
Yeah. During the Green Day era and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not like right when Green Day started, but like compare early 90s Green Day to like early 2000s Green Day, and look at how like mall punk commercialized it is. Like Hot Topic, I call it like what do you say, like Hello Kitty mall punk. It was almost like that. And so I just think I think some things start out pure and start out raw in what they are. Like even guys like Green Day, I think you could see. I was a huge Green Day fan in the 90s, and you could see how the powers that be kind of take a hold of whatever becomes trendy, and they just, retool it for themselves.
Yeah, you're probably around my age, man. I mean, I remember, God, I was really into Green Day.
Yeah, man.
94, Dookie, and all that.
Dookie, yeah. Do you have the time?
Yeah, I play a little guitar, man. That was like one of the first songs I learned. God, so easy. Da 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 da. Right? Yeah, that's so simple. God, bum 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 bum. That's so easy. Anyway, man, Austin. Alex Jones is out in Austin. I would have figured you wouldn't have any problems getting weird in that city. You'd be okay. espousing a little bit of conservatism if you needed to or whatever. I mean, they just run you out of there. Why haven't they run out Alex Jones yet? Jesus.
I mean, they basically have. Like, he doesn't really live in Austin. Oh my God, there he is. He's here. Turn the Fox guy.
I'm not an impersonator like our buddy Ryan Katsu Rivera. So,
oh man, Ryan is a very good impersonator. I haven't heard him do an Alex Jones yet, but he's pretty good at quite a few of them. Yeah, Alex Jones, even though he's kind of in Austin, he's really not. He's kind of a pariah in his own city. And as far as I know, like I think their offices are like outside of Austin, kind of out in the boonies outside of Austin. And I know quite a few people at InfoWars. I like a lot of those people, and they're cool. But yeah, they're like Alex, as far as I know, is like a pariah in his own city. When people see him, they're like flipping him off and saying it's a couple steps above if you're like a police officer. So I know some police officers in APD, and they just every like half of what they get is just some people flipping them off and saying F you or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So do you mind if I play some of your music?
Go for it, man.
That's cool. I mean, I know I'm probably going to get demonetized on this, because we're playing your music, but I really want to highlight some of this stuff. I picked a couple videos out. So if you don't mind, I want to play this first one. What is the first track here? Well, I guess we'll find out. Oh, this is actually, it's fitting. It's the Spaceman Jam. Let me get into this right here. Oh, hold on one sec. Sorry. Let me just... God damn it. I don't have my Asian. I really got to get him back in here. There it is. Wow, that was so cool, man. I love that tune. It's just you describe your sound. Like your sound is it's part electric. You say it's vintage, but it's also electric, right? It's like new and it's old, basically. It's like
it's like
an antithesis.
And it's kind of futuristic, kind of vintagey. I don't think I initially intended it that way. It just kind of came out that way. But yeah, the best way I describe my records is psychedelic Nintendo punk or psychedelic Nintendo rock.
That's so awesome.
The second album's a little more punk than this album. This album is a lot more poppy kind of vibes, but the other one is more punky vibes.
Yeah, I grew up in the punk scene, man. I understand fully. And I played in bands growing up and stuff. And God, man, that's what really got me out of the whole liberal stuff. Is just being in punk, 2016 punk rock concerts. And all of these people espousing, go vote for Hillary Clinton, which was just insane. I was like, wow, punk rock started off with no government, fuck the government, And now it's all about the most government, right? God.
Yeah, man, I can't tell you. Like, I would play shows and make friends with all these people in Austin, and then they would invite me to play shows that are like for Planned Parenthood and stuff. I'm like, nope, no can do. Really?
So you like didn't sell out. You didn't want to sell out. And I mean, you could probably have gotten way farther, by doing that, by taking that gig, and you decided not to, just on principle. I mean, a lot of people would not do that.
Yeah. Well, I was asked on multiple occasions specifically to sell out. I mean, that's what the whole thing with KUTX was them saying, hey, we like your song. Everybody likes your song, except for we've had some people call in that don't like your song, and we would like you to explain your song.
Yeah,
it was an invitation to pick a political side of something, and I said no thanks.
Yeah, and that of course is your song "Western Chauvinist," which we will be getting into and playing and talking about a little later in the show. But this song that we just played, "Spaceman," the Spaceman tune. This is the song that launched your career and instantly put you on the map, right?
Dude, yeah, it all came together really fast because I had 0 records released. I released this record, and just, I guess, by stars aligning in a certain way with my publicist and with my radio promoter, I was Artist of the Month a month after I dropped the record. And I played an NPR special at KUTX like 3 days after the album dropped. So it all came together really quick. I went from like, hey, I want to put an album out to, hey, I'm going to go do a West Coast tour and I'm going to play 40 dates this year. And South by Southwest, Artist of the Month, all this stuff. It was picked up on, I think, 100 different radio stations, just different college and community stations around the country. And yeah, it blew up, man. I was not expecting any of that to happen. I was working my ass off, but I wasn't thinking that would all actually play out.
Yeah. Did you say Space Monkey at some point in that song?
Yeah, the opening line to that song. So this is the opening line of the record. This is the first song of the record. But yeah, I said, the Space Monkey is eating your spaghetti.
I love that. Oh my God, that should be a t-shirt.
So this song, and probably most of the songs on this first record, this record's called Zillion. The debut record was mostly done with what I call mumble tracks. I think a lot of artists have tried it in the past. I stole the idea from Jeff Tweedy of the band Wilco. But basically you just mumble, like you basically record the whole song first, all the music without any lyrics. And then you go in and sing a cool melody with just total nonsense lyrics. And then you put it really low in the mix where you can just barely hear the vocals. You just kind of hear consonants coming through. And I would just listen to it for about an hour. So I could hear the melody and little consonants, but I can't make out any of the words. And I would just write down what I thought I heard for about an hour. And a lot of those lyrics is what came out. So the song was not planned or really like preconceived lyrically. It just was, it's almost like subconscious songwriting.
That's so crazy, man. Pure Volume said that it is both futuristic and vintage all at once. And the music blog Fingers on Blast called it a true future rock and roll masterpiece. What's up with that blog name, by the way? Finger Blasting? Finger Blast? That's an interesting blog name.
I can't speak to that. I did not name that.
So writing lyrics using mumble tracks. So you say on your you like I said, you like you were just saying, it's a form of like subconscious kind of like, basically I've interviewed a lot of different punk rock musicians in my time and stuff, and I found this out organically myself just by asking a lot of musicians questions about their music and stuff. And so I would like a song and ask a particular artist about that song, and what I interpreted it as, I just thought that everybody interpreted it the same. I really didn't even realize that, honestly, all music is just you for your own interpretation, and it's just a form of wordplay. That's all it is. Coming up with lyrics.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of reminds me. There was a guy that I knew in Austin, and he had a band that was called they were called Not in the Face. And that's a really good example of that. Even the band name is like, that can be interpreted dozens of different ways, and it's just not in the face.
Yes.
It's like whatever you want it to be. Wherever your brain is at is what it means.
Oh my God. We all know what that is, right? It's either the money shot or getting a slap, or a punch or something like that. That's hilarious. That is a great name. I love that name.
Depends on how depraved your mind is. That's all.
Yeah. So what is it about video game-esque synthesizers?
What is it? I don't know. I guess that's the nostalgic thing that I can't get away from. I've got.
How old were you when Nintendo came out?
I've got this little thing that my daughter's made for me. It's like a little Link.
Yeah.
A little thing made out of beads. But
what was Link? Wait, hold on. What was Link again? That was Zelda, right? Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, Link's the one in Legend of Zelda. There's something about video games, especially like 80s and 90s video games, that it seemed so futuristic, and then when you look back on it, it's like not futuristic at all. It's like there's a word for it. I don't know. I don't remember the name for it, but it's like vintage futurism, where, even if you go back to like the 50s and 60s, like the idea of space and space travel was so much more romantic and badass than it is now. Now it's like freaking landing a stupid go-kart on Mars. Like, who gives a shit? We want to be living with some hot babe on Neptune, not landing a go-kart on Mars, allegedly, or whatever. So, I don't know. There's something about that. Like, video games kind of get to that for me. Or this kind of a nostalgia, but it's a nostalgia based on the future. The music sounds futuristic and computery. I'm a huge fan of like most Nintendo, like NES Nintendo music is awesome. Everyone knows the do 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 do. Yeah, just that, and Zelda. Like, Zelda and Mario are my thing. Like, I'm a gamer, but I'm really just a gamer when it comes to vintage stuff. Like, I don't play anything modern, really.
I don't either. If I did anything, it would be like, back in the day, Nintendo stuff when I was growing up. But tell me about. Sorry. What?
I was gonna say. So I mean, even some of my more rock and roll stuff still has those elements of video game-ness to them. Even when you listen to Western Chauvinist, there's not any synthesizers in that song, but it sounds video game-ish when you hear it. I'm sending guitars through fuzz pedals that sound really Velcro-y and really they sound almost like a synthesizer. Especially that second record, Welcome to Flat Earth. you can't tell what's guitars and what is synthesizers because it's all so gnarly and gross.
Yeah, it's such a cool sound. How did you develop that sound? Like, did you start off playing guitar, or like you're multi-instrumental, so keyboards and drums as well?
Yeah. I play everything on both the records. I think the way that I started Zillion and what kind of spurred it was I was honestly kind of bored of guitar. There's a lot of guitar on that album, but a lot of the songs are very groove based. If it didn't have like a good drum and bass groove, then I didn't put it on the album. So pretty much every song has some kind of drum and bass groove. And the second record, Welcome to Flat Earth, was kind of the same, but a totally different approach. So I still was very groove based, but the second album was recorded all straight to tape. So that's one of the reasons why it's very, it's a lot more unrefined, a lot more punk rock, because there's no editing anywhere on it. It's just all recorded straight to this tape machine. And like what you hear is what you get. There's not, oh, I didn't like that guitar line, I'm going to edit it right here and put in this other guitar. No, it's just, there's the song. Deal with it.
That's awesome. It's all recorded live. So do you end up with like a lot of like songs that you don't want to use as filler and you just kind of throw them away? Or did you start off with a lot more songs and whittle it down to less songs?
Kind of. I have hundreds of iPhone demos. And so what I do is I just pick the songs that I want to record off of my goofy iPhone demos. And the iPhone demos are basically just me beatboxing and humming crap into my phone. So if it sounds cool enough, then it gets to be on the record. If it doesn't, then maybe it'll be on another record, or maybe it just gets lost in my phone forever.
Wow, that's like how you start the creative process, is just kind of come up with it right in your brain and hum it.
Sometimes it's just like just a beat, whatever. Like there's a song called Red Pill, and that one started out, it was just boom, and I'm just going boom, that boom, that boom, that down boom, that boom, and it's just whatever groovy thing is in my brain. It sounds retarded when you listen to the iPhone demo. I should probably publish them just so people can see how it starts, how dumb it sounds. Because that's all I start with. Can you beatbox pretty well? Actually, I mean that sounded okay. Not really. No, I mean I wouldn't say that I'm like a beatboxer, but I like drum speak. I like to just, I'm always I've played in bands for so long where I wasn't the drummer, so I'm always like trying to explain the beat that I would want to my drummer.
Yeah,
that's how I would do it.
Have you ever been in a band where you were the drummer?
Yeah. Probably nothing that you could even hear on Spotify or anything. I think if you maybe dig through MySpace, if that even exists anymore, I think I found like some newer version of MySpace that was still on there. I was in a band called Gunther, and I played drums in that band.
Okay, cool. So, but primarily it's the guitar and singing. You're a front man.
Yeah. Yes and no. I would say like, I like performing live too. So in that way I would be a front man, I guess. But, on my records, I play everything. So I'm I relate more to guys like the Tame Impala dude, Kevin Parker, and Dave Grohl. And not that I'm like as good. Those guys are insane. Those guys are way better than me. But I like that those guys like made their own records. Kevin Parker makes everything on his record. Prince does at least his first couple records, he did everything. Stevie Wonder on his first record, I know he recorded everything. There's something cool, like really potent about getting an artist that plays everything, because then everything has that vibe on it.
Mm-hmm. And then you could just basically switch out your band members. I mean, is the band pretty like the same members or whatever, or it's just a revolving cast?
Yeah, I offer no mystique about that. A lot of bands are just like, even bands like Queens of the Stone Age, like Josh Homme has a different band every single record. He doesn't talk about it. Like, but I don't care about talking about it. Like, I just hire whoever's right to play on that record. And I think I had 2 really good lineups for 2 really good records. And honestly, I don't even know if the same lineup would work. Maybe they would. I have, some really great friends that play on that stuff. But at the same time, I'm just, at this point in the world, I don't know. I enjoy making the records a lot more than I enjoy performing the record. I like playing live. It's fine. But I prefer making the music and being in the studio. That's kind of more my thing.
Okay, I hear you. Hey,
so I'm more of a producer. Like, I'm actually a pretty crappy drummer. I'm a pretty okay guitar. I'm probably the best at guitar out of all the things that I play, but I'm not an amazing guitar player. I'm not really great at any of the instruments that I play, but I would say that I'm better at producing than I am the instruments themselves.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, it's amazing. Technology is so awesome, and what you could do with Adobe Audition or whatever it is,
Well, that's part of what the test was with the second album, though, is because like I depended on the computer so much for that first record, like Spaceman, the song we just listened to, it was all in the box. It was it was heavily digital in the digital world using Pro Tools and all that. But I wanted to challenge myself with this Tascam 388 here, and it only has 8 channels on it. So you only get 8. Like there's probably 50 tracks on Spaceman. I don't know, maybe more. It's not a Taylor Swift song. It doesn't have like 200 tracks or anything insane, but yeah, there's something really special that happened on the second album when I did it on tape, because you only get 8 tracks, and it's technology, but it's like mid 80s technology.
Yeah, and also where did you record it?
Yeah, I did the second album all in my house. Both records were both in my house, but there's 2 different houses. I moved between them. So Zillion was mostly done in my Austin house when I lived in Austin, and then I moved to a little town called Buda, just south of Austin, 5-6 years ago, and I did all of the second record in that house, like in a really tiny ass bedroom. Honestly, it's like probably like a 10 by 10 foot bedroom. Drums and everything.
Yeah, no. Well, the last thing that just makes me think of is green jelly. Green jelly. Green Jello used to be Bill Manspeaker. He, right? The 3 little pigs. You remember that?
No.
Little pig, let me in. Not by the hair of my chin. You never heard that? Really? That metal song?
I don't think so.
Anyway, no, but Green Jelly, it's just like it's one guy, whatever, and he will have different bands in different towns, and like he'll go fly there, and then the band, he'll probably like just, I don't even know if he practices with them. Maybe they might practice once or whatever, but they practice on their own and learn all the songs. And then he just flies there and then plays with like a local band every time. Isn't that crazy?
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But tell me about the North American college radio charts. Is college radio important to the emerging musical artiste? Huh?
I guess what I think is important now is probably different than if you would ask me 2, 3, 4 years ago. It's completely different now. I would say it definitely carries some weight in that world, in the indie world. Zillion, the debut record, came out at an interesting time because I forget the name of the main college radio chart. It wasn't the NAC 2. You're talking about the NAC 200. There was another one that was kind of the main one. My brain's been out of it, so I'm spacing out on it. But it, for whatever reason, like collapsed. Like whoever ran it, like it died like a month before I put my record out. And then the NAC 200 has always been around, but it kind of took its place as the main charts. And basically I was able to hit, I think I hit top 40 on the NAC 200 within a month or two. And it was weird because this is like I've made a ton of songs and made a ton of records. I just was an idiot about it. Never really released them properly or did anything until this point. But so I'm putting out my first record after, I've probably recorded 5 albums before that I never really did anything with. But the first record that I put out, I'm hitting top 40 on the college charts. And I'm there with like the Shins and Ryan Adams and, all these dudes like Trent Reznor and all these people that I really respect. It was kind of trippy to just be right there in the charts with the people that I really love. So that was cool. But yeah, I feel like it was kind of a fluke. A lot of stuff about my music taking off felt like a fluke to me, where it was like the main chart system happened to collapse like right when I put my record out. Austin music really wasn't doing hot. Like I don't want to crap on other Austin musicians, but in general, like as a whole, the music scene there had been kind of on the decline for a while. So I think that helped me also get some traction there. But like I said earlier, I feel like I got to see the death of the Austin music scene. I have so many musicians that I respected there just ended up moving to South Carolina, moved elsewhere just because they saw that the scene was completely dead, even before COVID. But COVID was definitely like the death knell.
Mm-hmm. I got my start in community radio at WMNF in Tampa. Your first record, Zillion, you were speaking about that earlier. It was picked up over 80 FM radio stations, and overnight you became the poster boy for the Austin music scene on a national level. Now, Austin's NPR station invited you out to tape a studio session with your band the day before the debut album dropped. The track we played before, Spaceman, also got top tune on Los Angeles NPR station, etc. How ironic is it that all of that fame was generated first by NPR? Because it's such a lefty station. It seems
ironic now, but at the time it didn't seem ironic. Even for me, like even the progression of my life. Maybe I've been the same for a while, but I've always had a contrast from where I am. So started out in Fort Worth. Before we moved to Austin, I was considered like the most liberal person in Fort Worth, or at least like my friends considered me liberal. And when I got to Austin, I was kind of just almost a normie, like compared to some of the people there. But yeah, as you see the progression, as I put out this next record and the following record, I went on to be considered like the most, I don't even like the word conservative, but the most conservative. I had people, even for reasons we'll get into later, they're saying that I'm like white supremacist Nazi. So it's like in Fort Worth, I'm a liberal hippie freak. And in Austin, I'm a Nazi, white supremacist, bigot, homophobe, whatever, the whole list. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of funny. I don't feel like I was that different, and I don't feel like I've changed that much. But yeah, for what it is, like I don't seem to fit in wherever I am.
And then back to the video, really quick. Just the last thing about that. You talk to me about the spacesuit in the Spaceman music video. Your lovely wife, she co-stars, and you're both wearing those suits. Yeah, man, they're legitimate. It's like the closest thing to an actual spacesuit without it being an actual spacesuit. I know this guy in Dallas who fabricates like movie quality props, and he had made these space helmet. He made the space helmet and the whole suit that goes with it. He ended up I was actually going to buy it. Like after I rented it from him, I was going to buy it because it was so cool. I just want to like put it on a wall or something with the ray guns or something like that. He ended up selling it to some art installation because it was that cool, I guess. But yeah, it had like, it even had like a vent in the front and the back. You could see the point in the video where the vent actually broke. We were in the middle of the desert and the vent breaks, and my spacesuit's all fogged up and stuff. That's because the vent
had broke. But yeah, Emily had a similar one. It had a couple vents on it. It was like it was pretty freaking cool for sure.
Yeah,
it wasn't like I didn't want a space. I don't want like a NASA like a boring NASA spacesuit. I want that it's that vintage futurism that we talked about, where it's futuristic from the perspective of the 60s or something, or the 50s even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the fake moon landing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was more like sci-fi future, not lame ass future that we're
don't you like you really like sci-fi film?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't know if I'm actually that into. I'm a lot more into the scarier 80s sci-fi probably than I am even the mid-century sci-fi. I love movies like Predator and Alien, just freaking blood and guts, and that's at least that's what I grew up on.
Let's play another song. This track, "Going Out for a Cigarette." What's this track off of? What's the name of the album?
This is also off Zillion.
This is also off Zillion. Let's check this out. All right.
Not so sure that he's here for you. This is a fear that you cannot shake. But I'm gonna be there to pick you up when tears start rolling down your face.
Very cool, man. I'm guessing you did all the illustrations. Is that right?
Yeah, I did. Not on purpose, but yes, I did.
Oh, you did? You're really, that's really, really awesome, man. That's a great video. So you make your own videos too? You really, you do produce. You're a producer. Wow. Did you sell that song? Did you sell that song to Shameless? Is that the circumstances?
Yeah.
Was that the circumstances surrounding your experience going to the Grammys?
That one was picked up by Shameless. Yeah, I licensed that to them. I kind of went to the Grammys for the hell of it. I was trying so many new things that I was like, what the hell? I got invited to be a member of the Grammys, and someone recommended that I register, so I did it for a year. I still think it's kind of a joke, probably even more now than I did then, but I did it anyway. I went, and basically it's just a glorified concert. I had like nosebleed seats. I got to see Beyonce from like 12 miles away, and I ate a pretzel. That was me going to the. I did actually go down the red carpet, but I went down like the losers red carpet that everyone goes down, and then there's like another red carpet that only like 20 people go down.
Oh my God.
It was kind of gay, honestly.
You were in the belly of the beast.
Dude, I really was on the path. I was not, I wouldn't consider myself, nor ever probably consider myself like an A-list guy, but I was like on the path. I was well on the path. I was probably whatever, B or C, because I was, eventually after the first record and all the success with that, I was picked up by the Austin, what's it called? Austin Music Foundation. They had kind of taken me under their wing to be on all the big tours. Basically, they were setting me up to be, playing with all the Tame Impalas and all these huge bands before everything blew up, which we can get into later. But yeah, I was being sucked in, and there's all kinds of goodies and parties and free stuff and free tickets to stuff. I'm going to pop art exhibits and hung out with Brandon Boyd of Incubus, and there's all kinds of perks that come with that world. But yeah, I got to kind of learn the hard way, or maybe not the hard way. I think I really didn't get to. I think I kind of got saved from that world, and I'm glad that I didn't dive into that world head first.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let's talk about your illustrations, man. So you're an illustrator and you're a web developer. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep. I've officially had my agency for about 10 years now. Unofficially, probably for another 10 years before. I was freelancing for about 10 years, but Paradox, my company, has been around for 10 years. I just celebrated the 10th anniversary last month of that.
Well, congratulations.
And, yeah, I'm one of the few guys out there that can kind of do the nerdy web coding stuff, but also do the actual design work and the creative work as well. Usually you get one or the other.
Oh, dude, that's what I said to you during the pre-interview. That's absolutely correct, man. It's very, very difficult to find a web developer who's actually skilled at also pulling in the design side of it, It
involves kind of a brain switch of like, all right, I'm going from creative mode to nerd code mode.
Yeah, and I would love to talk to you about that, man. Maybe doing a website for us or something like that. But do you ever make T-shirts?
Yeah, I've done a lot of merch design. I don't have it all on my wall today, but you can see a few things on my piano right there. I've just moved to a new place and got a new studio here. But yeah, I've done a ton of merch, ton of poster design. While I was in Austin, it was kind of funny. There was a lot of people that kind of had to disassociate themselves from me after the whole Western Chauvinist thing, because I had done so many people's gig posters and so many people's album artwork, T-shirt design, all this kind of stuff. I had amassed just dozens and dozens of like pretty big artists in Austin that I was, doing all their gig posters and stuff.
Yeah. What the heck, man? That's so crazy. That's I understand that though, being in like a town and then just like, wow, being so intertwined. So did they basically they just made it like so difficult for you to be there? Is that what happened?
It wasn't as much that as it was just I was officially made into a pariah from the radio station, from the booking agents, and from a handful of other like writers. So I had like hit pieces on me. And so media is gospel. Really, in most places, media is gospel, but in Austin, media is really gospel. So it didn't matter like how many times I went out to eat or had these people over at my house, or like, it didn't matter how close friends that I am with them in real life. You got to do what the gospel says. So when God says to do this, you do it, and and media is their God. So that's how they acted. Like, people that knew me well, either publicly denounced me or just ignored me altogether from then. And, they couldn't be seen with me.
Isn't it nuts? Because I've had this same experience. I want to know if you do too. You probably did. But like, you'll have somebody who absolutely knows you, knows your character, and then they've read whatever the article is, and now they have a messed up opinion of you. It's so insane,
dude. I kind of feel bad I do feel bad for them. I pity them, because it proves how much of a stranglehold media has on people's brains, whether it's, cable TV, YouTube videos, even these, like a lot of these were just little blogs. I mean, a lot of them were big blogs, to be honest, but it's that is their gospel. They have no God, so that is their God. That's the way that I see it.
Yeah, no, I know. I see it that way too, kind of. So do you screen print your posters or anything like that? Do you do it yourself or what?
I've screen printed a few of them. I don't have my own gear for doing that. I would love to do more of that in the future. I've screen printed a few of them, but like without my own gear, it's so freaking expensive. So I do a lot of what I call like pseudo screen printing, where when you see it, it looks screen printed. To most people, they would think that it was screen printed, but to anyone that has a trained eye, they'd be like, "Hey, this guy's faking it."
Really? I mean, I'm a screen printer. Actually, if I turn my camera around, there's two presses right there.
That's awesome, man.
And I have a full like merch everywhere, and we do embroidery also. Embroidery's over there, and we make all these shirts and stuff.
Way to go, man. I love it. I would love to have a setup like that eventually. I would love to do shirts, and I would love to just screen print posters, man. I know the process so well that that's probably the reason why I'm able to like mimic it so well in the digital world. But yeah, I sadly, out of the hundreds of posters that I've done, only a handful of them are like truly screen printed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, can I bring up some like uncomfortable stuff or whatever? I don't want to. I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot or anything crazy, man. I just saw some crazy stuff on about Owen Benjamin. I saw this. I know it's a touchy subject. I just like being thorough. Okay, so forgive me, man. If you really want me to stop or not talk about it, just let me know, and I won't. All right, but
bring it, man. I don't care.
What's up with Owen Benjamin? Like, why all the hostility, man? Like, let me just put this video on. I'm gonna put this up. This crazy video on. Hold on.
The rapey dude also threatened his child, passive aggressive. Oh yeah. But they're incapable of direct conflict. Like when I was around Ty Richards in Dallas, he hugged me, told me how great I was, told me all this stuff, just, you're Big Bear, you're my bear. And as soon as my influence is gone, as soon as he's threatened, he turns on a degree where he tries to get as many people to mutiny me as possible. It's insane. And so he's gone. I mean, this is Ty Richards. This is what his face looks like. This is what he values. And listen, the one thing I will say is, Ty, I understand when you perceive your family as being attacked, you go insane. I never should have given you any power or influence. You weren't capable of it. You went crazy, and I get it. And just keep making that money, buddy. If you think your posters are worth $3,000, you go get that $3,000. Do you know how much I do these streams for a lot of people? 0. I do about 2 hours of live streams every day, and about 90% of the people don't pay me. Am I spiteful of that? No, I send a lot of them Christmas cards because I value them. They're my people. Ty is always thinking he deserves more. I had a Gamma father, right, who always wanted to be dean. He was a full professor. It's the ultimate Gamma hive as a university because my father always felt he deserved more, right? Just like Ty. Ty got paid $250 from a guy who can't do online banking with PayPal anymore, a guy trying to feed his family, a guy who's been kicked out of Hollywood clubs for speaking the truth. But guess what? Ty felt he needed more money. Hand-drawn bear, mountain bear, all these people do everything without even thinking of asking me for money because that's preposterous. We're building a community and it's not based on money. Tao sounds like a woman scorn. Oh, it's just disgusting. And so we gave him money. And this is why I've run into problems with people I've given money, because the ones who usually pressure me for money and pressure my wife are the ones who hate you for it because they deserve more. Ty Richards, I saw him in person a month ago. Did he say any of this shit? Did he call me a pedo lover? Did he call me? No. He said how great I was. He said, I've done such good work. I've really helped him in his marriage, all this stuff. They're conflict avoidant. Nick Fuentes, conflict avoidant. Ben Shapiro, conflict avoidant. Ty Richards, conflict avoidant. Owen Benjamin, not conflict avoidant. So sick of fucking gammas. It's like, Ty Richards used me for money. And he can say whatever he wants. That's the reality. That's so sick. Ty was doing us a favor, huh? Let's re-listen to that. I'm only going to do one more. I'm getting a little pissed off. This is Ty Richards' response to our generosity. More lies from Owen's Manson cult. I designed posters for $1,000 normally. I run an agency. I did this poster for free as a fan. Amy Owen paid me 25%. I thought you just said it was free. You see the madness? Amy Owen paid me 25% of my value, $250 via Venmo, and they didn't even want to do that originally. We don't have any money, Ty. We paid you $250 to draw a goddamn bear. Guys, they're only referring to Sing Along Bear's husband who called Ty Richards' daughter a whore in one of their bitch outs. That's the entire story. And I publicly said, that guy shouldn't live stream. What a psycho. Hey guys, don't watch his streams anymore. He's just a citizen, right? That's the entire fucking story. And if you turn on me for that, and if you backed any of these people, we turned on Captain Color, you're all gone. And if I speak your name and try to help you and promote you and try and give you advice on family and shit, and you stab me in the back, fuck you. This had to be said. $250 a week is a week's worth of groceries. I thought I was helping him. He used that as a way to turn a knife in my back and imply that my wife was cheap. He's a sick little snake, and he's not a Jew. So fucking forget the whole Jew narrative that everything comes from the Jews. Ty Richards is a churchian Christian with kids and a wife. That's why this whole are you part Jew? Are you part Jew? It's not coming from the Jews. But I will tell you as well, it is not because of Jews that there are gamma males and there are snakes and there are liars and there's greed and there's lust. It's not. A lot of them are just bag men.
Wow. Wow, he says a lot there. Why did he refer to you as a gamma male when you have 6 kids? I mean, I don't know, man. 6 kids? You're probably not a gamma male, but you see this thing? The different male personalities, alpha, beta, gamma. I mean, he admits that his dad is a gamma. That's self-admitted.
I understand their gay version of astrology, which is what we're looking at right there. It's a gay astrology for gay dudes, basically. I get how it works. I get the perceived usefulness of it. I get all that. The whole thing kind of outed how much of a cult it is when he's calling a dude with 6 children and a smoking hot wife a gamma male or whatever. The whole thing is like anyone who disagrees with Owen Benjamin or Vox Day or any of that crew is by default a gamma male, because that's how their cult works. It's how the whole thing is set up. I don't know. I'm not gonna trash Owen Benjamin or even Vox at this point. I just see them as over emotional males who are basically cult leaders. And they make insane amount of money off of their fans. That's pretty much all I got to say about it.
And just like Forrest Gump. That's all I got to say about that. But I'm not trying to put you on the spot, man. I really not. I just I like talking about everything, and I saw that on there, and it was like this. I knew it would be uncomfortable, but some kind of crazy blow up between you and Owen Benjamin and him talking about gamma males and getting all crazy. I just wanted to mention it.
Basically I was like brought in as an honorary bear, but I was never a bear. Like all of his fans are called bears. It's a thing. Like they all like, you know, whatever. There's, you know,
I'm actually not familiar with that at all. So I'm not,
So all of his diehard fans, like if you're into guitar, then you might be Guitar Bear or whatever. Everyone has like a bear name.
That's pretty gay.
It is pretty gay, and that's why I didn't want to like.
Isn't a bear a word? Isn't it like a term of endearment for like a gay dude or something? Like there's a twink and there's a bear. I mean, those are different kind of gay people.
That is definitely a thing in gay culture. I know he didn't intend for it to be that way, but yeah, that's what it is. But I was kind of like adjacent to him for a while. I still think Owen Benjamin's funny on a lot of levels. Like he's a funny dude. There's no way around it. I mean, I'm not gonna like deny that he's hilarious in a lot of ways. I consider myself adjacent to what he was doing for a good year there because I related to him a lot. Like I was, cast out of Austin in a similar way that he was cast out of Hollywood and cast out of the LA world and out of the comedy world. So I always kind of saw in the back of my mind, kind of like a business relationship with him. Like I seeked out a business relationship with him. That's something that was very apparent, I think, to everyone. I was for a while like trying to set up like kind of like a rock / comedy show with him. That was kind of an initial vision that I had early on, like way back in late 2017. That obviously didn't end up happening, but the start of a business relationship did happen. I did all of his tour. I did his tour poster and his tour t-shirts and all that kind of stuff. I did do that basically pro bono, and what's funny is like I never even asked to be paid on that, and he's the one who paid me the $250 to do it, and then he's saying that I'm a gamma for getting paid. The reality is like Owen like makes so much money off of like all of his fans actually create his content. For a while I was listening to his streams, and I was really adjacent to a lot of his streams because I'm very pro family. I'm very anti-trans kids, all that nonsense. And so we, we're fellow travelers on those things. So I would make posters and I would make certain design that would be in that theme of opinions that I already have, but it would be, current because of he would be talking about it or whatever. So I would just kind of ride the wave and make some stuff along with some of his streams. And a lot of the bears latched onto that. They loved it. And I'm still to this day friends with a lot of probably now former bears, because the video you just saw was from late 2019 probably. And that's what I like to call bear apocalypse, because there was probably between me and a guy named Captain Cutler on Instagram, we probably got a couple thousand people to leave the bears in that time. Mostly just out of like just a revenge thing. I don't know. It's a whole bunch of drama, but long story short, like a couple of the main bears were like, I guess, jealous that Owen Benjamin was syndicating a lot of my Instagram. So I would make these posts and then he would send them out, and he barely ever credits anyone. He doesn't credit his fans on anything, but he actually started crediting me on some of them, which I don't care. I don't care if people credit me or don't credit me. It's not a thing I care about. But a lot of the bears started freaking out and were jealous about that, I guess, or something. It sounds like a very, oh my gosh, she's jealous, Becky. But yeah, there was a freak out. And so a couple of the guys were like, one of the guys in particular was basically posting photos of my children on his YouTube live stream. It would be like a video like this. It would be like if you just pulled up photos of my kids and started trashing my kids. So it was on, man. Like at that point I was like, dude, you start messing with my kids, I'm going after you. That's just, that's the least that I could do, you know? And so I opted to just completely ridicule this guy to death. I mean, I made him into, they're all about Jews and promo codes and Ben Shapiro. And so what I did was I just like turned it back on him, and I turned him into a promo code. And I started an entire promo code campaign for this guy, this other guy, this bear guy, and just basically just destroyed him online because, you know, that's the least I could do, because I should have destroyed him in real life, talking about my kids. But either way, like, no regrets, man. I made probably like $4,000 or $5,000 off of just shitting all over that guy, and I feel great about it. I'm not going to say it was the right thing to do. I'm a Christian. I don't know if that's the most Christian thing to do, but man, the past is in the past. I have no regrets, man. I had a blast, and yeah, I made $4,000 or $5,000 off of shitting on this guy as hard as I could and making him into a promo code and all the bears were for it. All the bears hated this guy too. This guy was a bear, but all the bear fans hated him. So yeah, that's who like purchased records and posters and all the stuff that had this guy's name as the promo code. And it was hilarious. I have no regrets. I would never apologize for that because it was freaking awesome. And so what actually happened was Owen Benjamin actually sided with that guy. And that is when shit blew up and a ton of people left the Bears. It's because they realized we were all like felt adjacent to Owen Benjamin because he was the guy who's against trans children and was pro family, that whole thing. And so that whole thing kind of revealed like maybe he didn't care about kids. It was when, one of the more known bears is being creepy about my kids on his freaking live stream. So then it just escalated. So I don't know. Long story short, I got to see the full spectrum of extremism and just the full spectrum of retards is what I would say. Because I've got to experience the left-wing retards that were doxing me and stuff after getting banned from KUTX. And then I got to experience the right-wing retards. Because after Owen Benjamin, after he's like, what that rant that you just said, that was just a part of it, man. There was like tons where he's just like wasted on his live stream, giving death threats to me and like other guys. And then there were bears that were like all about it, like, let's murder Ty Richards. And so I'm getting like address doxing all over Instagram, like posting my address, trying to figure out where my kids go to school, all this. It was actually worse than the left-wing doxing that I experienced. For obvious reasons. I mean, some of these guys are legitimate psychopaths. Owen Benjamin is definitely a psycho of sorts, but there's people that follow him that are even more psychopathic. And, just saying that one guy, I think his name was like, I'm not going to give his actual whatever. I don't even care at this point. His name was Heterodoxy Bear. I have everything on him. I was prepared to submit FBI reports on these guys because they're the guy posted my address, and in people's live streams, he's like, hey, does anybody know where Ty's kids go to school? I want to kill his family in front of him and post it on unauthorized.tv, which is, on Owen and Vox's site, all this crap, whatever, whether it's serious or not. Like, I have to just assume that it's serious, at least prepare for actual psychos to do stuff. And that's kind of the spectrum that I experienced of left-wing and right-wing retards.
Well, thank you for that. That was very, very interesting. I appreciate that perspective on what went down. God, it's pretty. He's a lunatic. You're definitely not a gamma, and I mean, like you said before, your wife's hot. I want to play this this song. I want to play this song that you got. Who the hell is this chick right here? She's not your wife, is she? She's hot. Oh my God. This chick is fucking hot.
She's publicly disavowed me.
But she's hot.
like gasoline. Credits on the floor. Summer salt and pepper, baby. Purple haze in. Shooting stars again. If you want to kiss with the lights on, kiss with the lights on. I don't care if somebody finds out, somebody finds out. Baby girl, you know, beauty fades away, Jumping jack will stay. Stars don't shine in the day. Roses aren't the way. Sonnets aren't the way. Love songs aren't for me. Just one magnetic key. If you want to kiss with the lights on, kiss with the lights on. I don't care if somebody finds out, somebody finds out. If you want to kiss with the lights on, kiss with the lights on. I don't care if somebody finds out, somebody finds out. If you want to kiss with the lights on, kiss with the lights on. I don't care if somebody finds out, somebody finds out. If you want to kiss with the lights on, kiss with the lights on. I don't care if somebody finds out, somebody finds out. Been chakras.
Oh, I think I stopped a little bit premature, but that was a really great song, man. Like, you have such a range. Like your music is very, I don't know, man, just like eclectic. There's a lot of different. I mean, it's you definitely have a style there's some similarities there, but really great music. I love it. And I just wanted to play like a range of that before we get to this last song that I'm going to play, and that's the Western Chauvinist song. Okay, so Space Man, the first song that we played, that put you on the map, while your song Western Chauvinist handicapped your ascent. And let's
ascent.
Yeah.
Depending on how you're looking at it, or descent.
It handicapped it. And so let's check out that live rendition of that tune that you did for the Austin College radio station KUTX. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, no wonder you got canceled off everything. You made the Proud Boys theme song. Holy shit. What did you do, man? Oh
so
my
funny,
God.
man, because I didn't even really know much about the Proud Boys at all. I think I had just found out about Gavin McInnes and was watching these like 5-minute clips of Gavin McInnes on YouTube or something like that. That whole record is just like my drive-by, like me doing a drive-by of the internet and what were things that people thought on the internet. So there's stuff about Proud Boys. There's like Red Pill stuff. The whole album's called Welcome to Flat Earth. There's stuff about wizards and Lord of the Rings. There's all kinds of stuff on that record. And yeah. I know a lot more about the Proud Boys now. And I'm friends with a lot of the guys now, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't really know what it was.
Are you a Proud Boy? You're a Proud Boy now?
I am kind of a Proud Boy-ish, I think. I don't know. I'm probably like,
is the West
like
the best?
Maybe. I would say I'm probably would be disavowed by Proud Boys at this point. Only because this is a recent thing in my life, but I'm looking at becoming this is a maybe thing. This is something I'm investigating. I'm looking at becoming a part of the Eastern Orthodox Church. So part of me has to say that the East is the best.
Wait. So the Eastern Orthodox Church, what is that? Is that the Greek church?
Yeah, Greek. It's all the same. Greek Orthodox. It's basically pre-Catholic. And I'm not going to put my stamp of approval on it yet. It's something I'm investigating right now. But I've grown up like Protestant my whole life. I see all kinds of problems with Catholicism. But from everything I'm learning about, Orthodox is pre-Catholic. Like all the things that I hate about Catholicism, about popes and purgatory and all this just random BS, is not in the Orthodox Church. Like they don't believe any of that stuff. I don't know. That's a whole nother like evening. But that's very crazy. I'm Catholic. I went to Catholic school my whole life. But yeah. they have another pope. They have another pope over there. Where in some? Well, they have a similar hierarchy, and they have bishops. They do not have a pope, though. There is no Orthodox pope. There is what Catholics call the Eastern Rite, which is different. It's not the same thing as the Orthodox Church. There's like an Eastern like segment of the Catholic Church that's its own thing. That's not Orthodox, though. That's not. I don't know. For what it's worth, I can't truthfully say the West is the best because I'm considering converting to a technically Eastern religion.
Okay,
Orthodox Christianity.
How did this happen?
I'd be lying if I say that Roosh V wasn't a part of it. Do you know who Roosh V is?
I'm sorry for my ignorance.
Yeah, no, you should. He's definitely in this space. He's in the space of he's friends with Gavin. He's friends with E. Michael Jones, and which you probably know if you're Catholic. I don't know if you know E. Michael Jones. He's friends with Owen Benjamin and some of those guys too. But just seeing his conversion was amazing for me to watch. He just went from like just traveling the world, having sex with every hot woman that moves, to just becoming a devout Orthodox Christian. And it was such a 180. He took all of his books off of Amazon. He just released his first book called, I think it's called American Pilgrim or something like that. I've only read bits and pieces of it, but it's a pretty wild story. You talk about the new punk rock. I mean, he's doing that to the full. I mean, he just, yeah, it's you have to kind of look it up to see. But
I'm gonna be going down this rabbit hole. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of a trend, and I'm trying not to be just like following the trend. Is
it really?
So what's happening right now in society is we're growing up in a world that hasn't had church. There's been probably 2 generations of kids who have never even been in a church at all. Like church was like a part of American culture from probably the 60s and before that. But from the 60s until now, it's just been like just crashing and burning as far as church culture and people attending church. So when people decide, when generation Z, the Zoomers, decide they want to be Christian, they don't decide to be like Joel Osteen megachurch Christian, and they don't want to be Catholic. They go back to like whatever the original thing is that they can find, and that's actually Orthodox Christianity.
It's like buying records. Yeah,
it's like buy your vinyl and become Orthodox. I don't know. It sounds kind of gay when you say it like that. but that's really what's happening though, is like people are trying to go for the most original version of the thing as they can, and that's historically that's what it is.
Oh yeah, I mean that's true. Catholicism was all in Latin prior to forgot which one, the Vatican II or something like that, and then everything became English. I mean, up into the 60s, Catholics didn't even know what was going on in church. You would just go and listen to Latin being spoken. Isn't that crazy?
Well, now I'm doing the reverse. I'm homeschooling my kids and I'm teaching them Latin, which actually like makes them way smarter because they know what words mean now. And Latin is like this magical language where if you know Latin, no one speaks Latin. It is a dead language linguistically. Like people don't communicate in it. But if you know Latin, you know the meanings of every word.
Wow, that's so cool.
It's like my kids are learning grammar in Latin, and if you can do grammar in Latin, you can actually do it in pretty much any language. It's pretty wild.
So back to the Western Chauvinist song. We're not very happy anymore, Ty. The USA under Biden is not the USA we became college socialists in, Because I was a socialist as well. I mean, I got an English degree from the University of Florida and completely and totally indoctrinated into that whole way of thinking. Yep. Living in New York City as well. Wow. Totally a lefty. And that's like, I think is like the common theme here. I mean, Gavin McInnes himself, he was like a world-class lefty and switched it all up. And eventually people just like, I don't know what it is, reality hits or something. And you just realize that you're not going down the right path or something. I don't know. And then you wake up and you get red pilled or black pilled or something, right?
Or as Roosh calls it, bread pilled.
Oh yeah, there's both of them.
Red pilled.
I got to check that out, man. I got to look him up. Now, what's the contrarian canary in the coal mine thing about? That's like a double negative, and I can't seem to wrap my noggin around it.
That one's funny because I honestly stole that lyric from one of my best friends. You should check out a guy. You can hear his stuff on Spotify. His name's James Cook. Cook with an E at the end. And dude, he's one of the most talented musicians that I know. I actually produced his record that he has on there. And he has a song called, I think it's called Canary in a Coal Mine. I think it's the name of the song. And I like the lyrics so much that I made it the opening, or I like the song. I liked his song so much that I made it the opening line to the opening song of my record. He's probably pissed about that. But yeah, it kind of worked for me. I was a contrarian canary in a coal mine yesterday, but I've got no fucks to give today. So I don't know. This record was less like mumble tracky. It was more like, I feel like I had some things to say, some very intentional things to say. It took me 2 or 3 years to make the first record, and it took me 2 or 3 months to make the second record. It came very fast, and I had some things to say, I think. And contrarian, canary. I mean, you can read into that however you want to, but I think that's what you're speaking to, though, with all this Gavin McInnes stuff and all these other personalities of. I think there's a contrarian nature that we have, especially in America. There's a contrarian. If everybody's doing something, part of something in me just wants to be like, fuck that thing, whatever it is. even if it's totally right, I'm just kind of like, I don't want to do it.
Dude, I have the same situation. I don't know what it is. I think it's psychological. Actually, when I was younger, people knew how to get me to do stuff just by telling me the opposite, And they were like, they knew that I would immediately do it. But here's the tweet, man, by Gavin McInnes. Great jam by Proud Western Chauvinist. Ty Richards' music No, I mean this is the thing that started everything. You know, that's
It's the tweet that ended my Austin career.
All hell broke loose right with that tweet. Bring us through it. I know it's getting late. I thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know it's a late podcast. We're winding down the show now. But please, if you could muster up enough energy to tell.
No, man, I'm very long-winded. I'm usually the one saying that. So,
dude, I think this is a very, very interesting podcast, man. I mean, so what happened with that? Bring me through it, please.
Oh, man, yeah. I'll try to not make it a 2-hour version.
No, you don't.
So much stuff. So yeah. I recorded that the track we just listened to, the live thing. That's what he actually tweeted out. So that is the YouTube video on the KUTX YouTube channel of me playing in KUTX studio.
If he had tweeted out like the song that you had on your channel, maybe the studio version or something like that, things would have went.
If it was going out for a cigarette or a different song, I mean, it probably nothing would have happened. But yeah, so I tweeted out this thing that's their studio, and in that studio session, that was you can't tell from the video, but that was a sold out session in their studio downtown in Austin, and it was a big deal. Like that night was a really big deal. It was a sold out radio thing. It was syndicated on NPR and everything. I think it's still on the NPR website. You can go to the NPR music website. And I think they cleverly titled it a different name. I think it's called Merry Go Round, a name of one of my other songs. So if you search Western Chauvinist, you won't find it. But if you look up my other stuff, it's in there. It just has the wrong name on it. Yeah. So they felt, I think, personally offended because, yeah, it's like their name and their studio is on a Gavin McInnes tweet. And so, I have never really been active on Twitter ever. I had a Twitter account for a while. I actually had a Twitter account at the time, but I still wasn't even using it. Probably had like 100 followers or something. And so yeah, it's like it took someone else to be like, "Hey, some people are freaking out on Twitter about your song right now." I'm like, "Okay, I'll check it out whenever." I don't care. I'll check it out. But so I didn't care or do anything. Whatever. If there's drama happening, just let it happen. I don't care. But eventually drama happened to me. I didn't get a choice about it eventually, because I get an email probably that next day or so. There were all these people. They allegedly there were all these people. There might have been 3 emails for all I know. There might not have been a ton of people. But I get this message from KUTX's HR department that says, we need to, hey, they're using like HR, like nice lady lingo of, oh, there's a little, snafu that's happening and we want to, just get to the bottom of it real quick. Gavin McInnes has shared your video and we just want to see. We would like you to write a statement for the station, just to say, if this song is intended to glorify Western chauvinism or if it is satirical against it. They're basically just saying like, it's your song. What did you mean by your song? Pick a side. Like your song is confusing to us. Pick a side. And meanwhile, they'd been spinning that track. When they spin singles, usually you present singles. So I presented 3 singles and none of them were that song. So they went around those singles and chose Western Chauvinist, and then they spun it for 3 months. And then Gavin McInnes tweets the video. So really they're trying to save their own ass because my song is in heavy rotation, being played 3 times a day in Austin, Texas. People are driving around jamming this song every freaking day. So they're trying to save their own ass. They're trying to save their own ass before the big boss at NPR, the Austin NPR, found out what was going on. So they're trying to get me to like write a statement to do something, whatever. So I could tell. My initial thought was I was kind of scared. I was like, "Am I in trouble? Like, what's going to happen? Are they going to?" I was kind of a little bit of I don't know. I was being gay for a minute. And I was just think I was like, "Oh no, are they going to take my song off the radio. Oh no. I think I actually cared for a minute. But so I reached out to my friend who worked at the station. I was like, what's going on? I tried to just get it straight from a guy that I know instead of an HR lady. And he was like, yeah, dude, we had like a 30-minute meeting today about it. And dude, your stuff is like banned no matter what you write, no matter what you send them, no matter what statement you write and put on their website or what public apology or whatever you do, they're banning your music anyway. and so I don't know. I kind of just like, I give people a lot of benefit of the doubt, whatever, probably more than I should. And so I still emailed this lady back and was like, hey, if I write this statement, are you going to put the song back up? Not that I was going to, I don't know. I just wanted to know. And I didn't hear anything for like 24 hours, which is a really long time because they sounded like pretty urgent about this. Like they need this now before the boss man finds out. And next thing I know, I like the next day, like 24 hours later, I just sent an email that was just a question mark. Like, hey, you're going to put it back up if I write your stupid statement for you? just to know. And sure enough, I get this like BS email from another guy, like a higher up guy that was kind of like, yeah, sure. It was basically, but he was basically like lying via email. He's like, I have to check on this and this and this, but yeah, like, just write the statement. So at that point is when Gavin McInnes reached out to me, and I was just basically like, fuck this shit. That's the technical term for it.
Wow.
And,
so you had the chance to go this way or this way, and you chose this way, apparently.
Yeah, but even then, it wasn't about like picking a side to me. It was like the whole thing is they were trying to stiff arm me into picking a side to be like, are you right wing or left wing? Are you pro Trump or are you anti Trump? Like, God forbid everyone liked the same song, because everyone liked this song. Everyone right wing loved it because it was like almost like a Team America song, like America. Fuck yeah, come on again to save the month. It kind of had that vibe to it. So all the right-wing people love that about it. And all the left-wing people love America, fuck yeah, because it's like making fun of America.
And that's the South Park song.
Yeah, it's the dudes from South Park made that in whatever, Team America.
Team America, yeah.
But yeah, so everybody on both sides loved it. But then you had these weird Austin people that were like, they were not like right or left. They might be leftists. They were like communists or something. They were like, I guess, claiming the song was white supremacist or whatever.
Yeah. Are you a white supreme?
No, I don't know. I don't know what that. I don't even know what a white supremacist is in 2021. But yeah, I'm at least somewhat. I'm a Christian, and I'm a somewhat of a nationalist. Like, I want everyone in every country to be able to have their own nation. I want Japanese people to have their nation. I want Chinese people to have their nation. I want America to have their nation. It's like, how would Japan feel if we went in there and we're like, all right, we need to if you even let Chinese people into Japan, they would freak out. They hate Chinese people so much. If you even said, hey, we need 10% of the population to be Chinese, they would be like, fuck you, get out of here. And I don't know. That's how I see. I'm more of like a nationalist in the holistic sense. Like, every nation has a right to be the nation that it is, and not be transformed into a different nation. Don't make Japan into China. Don't make the UK into Iraq. Don't make any country into another country. That's screwed up.
Yeah, let people have their countries.
Yeah, but even that, like, I care less and less about that. I think left and right are a horrible lens to see things through, and I think good and evil are a much more accurate lens to see things. Because obviously, I mean, I just told you my full story. Like, I've experienced psychos on far left and far right, and psychos are psychos. Like, I don't really care if you like freaking love Trump or love Joe Biden. Stay away from me if you're a psychopath.
I know what you're talking about. But you're that. So speaking of psychopath or psychopathic things, well, that record that song is off of, it's called "Welcome to Flat Earth." Do you actually believe in flat Earth?
It's so funny. Like with that record, I gave it the name "Welcome to Flat Earth" as a joke, and all the songs are very. On all my records, but especially this record, is very satirical and jokey. But it's funny because like the Proud Boys song was a joke, the Flat Earth title is a joke, the Red Pill song is kind of a joke. A lot of the songs started out as a joke, but then as I started to learn about things, I'm not going to say that I know anything about anything, but now like I know actual Proud Boys, like I know Enrique, the president of I know Gavin McInnes, I know these people, so I know a lot more about it. Flat Earth was kind of the same thing. Like I didn't know anything about it. I just thought it was hilarious that people believed it. And then the more I looked into it, there's a lot of valid concerns about it. And I can honestly, from this, I wouldn't like label myself as a flat earther, but I will say that I don't know. I do know that like NASA lies about a lot of crap, and it's obvious. Like anyone who's actually looked into it, you can't deny all the freaking lies involved with NASA. So I don't know. I don't know if the earth is flat. I don't know if it's a donut or round. I just know I don't believe what authorities say about anything at this point in history. And that's really what the album is about. That's even what the title is about. To me, that's how I interpret it in my brain. Other people interpret it as Ty's a retarded flat earther. But to me, the whole record is it's like a post-truth album where it's in a godless society, like anything can be true because there is no truth. Like when there is no truth, how do you know what the hell is true? How can you even have a conversation with someone about truth or lies when there is no established truth anymore? So that's kind of what it is. Like everything we know to be true is based on hearsay. We heard it from our teacher. We heard it from our president. We heard it from from a government-run science, a government-backed scientist, a government-run study, whatever it is. Like everything we think is true is pretty much hearsay.
It's one big fucked up game of telephone. Wow,
dude. Yeah. And so, I don't know. That's why I am unashamedly Christian, because I think it's the only truth that I have to hold on to, that I really care about. Everything else, I don't care if the earth is flat. I don't care if the earth is a globe or a donut. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Or if dinosaurs existed.
Yeah, that's a whole other one. I've gone down that rabbit hole too, dude. Like there were no dinosaurs that were discovered before 150 years ago. So they never dug up anything. I don't know. It's weird. There's a lot of super weird. Like every museum, every dinosaur museum that there is, like there's not a single dinosaur bone in any one of those museums. They're all replica bones, and you can't no one's allowed to see the real bones or what. There's just all kinds of weird ass stuff. I'm not saying I know anything. I'm just saying I'm not sure about much.
Oh my God, that's I don't know, but there's a general theme within this space, like you were talking about before, and where people have these kind of beliefs, and it's true. I harbor some of them as well. I'm definitely a contrarian,
We're at a point in society where you kind of have to question everything that you thought was foundational. I think it's time to start over and build a new foundation, because everything was built on sand. And that's why maybe I'm not officially a Proud Boy anymore or anything. I don't really claim the West is the best, because the West is fucked up and it's dying. So if it is the best, it's not going to be the best for very long. We need to go back. What made the West the best? And I would debate that it is Christ that actually made the West the best. It was built on. I mean, you grew up Catholic, so you know the history of the Catholic Church. But I think that is what I'm going back to. I'm going to say Christ is the best.
Absolutely, man. And listen, give yourself a break for going after that bear, dude, because depending on which older New Testament, they said eye for an eye, right? So it could be Christian or whatever, Judeo-Christian at least, something like that. But, one other thing, last thing that's pretty funny, man. Did you know that there is an androgynous black man who is also named Ty Richards who eats food on YouTube?
No, I haven't seen him. I know there's a gay guy on it.
Yeah, he goes by Real Ty Richards on YouTube. And hold on, just watch this. Watch this for a second. It's disturbing. Hold on.
It's disturbing. Oh no, do I really want to watch this?
No, you don't. You don't. Who would watch this? Who would watch this? Oh my God!
Yeah.
What the fuck? Wait for 1 second. 1 second. He puts like some words here. Hold on.
This is like some ASMR gay porn.
Mildew.
This is gay ASMR.
Oh my God. What? Okay, so what the fuck is that?
He's bringing much shame to my name.
Yeah, I know that you have to do something about striking him from the internet. You cannot allow this. Come on. Are you serious?
Thank you for that.
You're welcome, Ty. Thank you for being on my podcast. I really appreciate you, man. If you could just stick around for 2 seconds, I'm just going to do the outro. But I really appreciate you being on, man. Thank you so much. And you've been working on a third album. Is there what? All right. So first of all, what can people do to get some of your music? They go to tyrichards.com, correct? TY Richards.com.
TyRichards.com. You can get I offer some music for free on there, but also you can get I think you or somebody got something today, like the full digital package that has like all this cool stuff with it. If you get the digital album, don't get it on iTunes. You can, but it comes with some cool stuff if you get it off my site. It's the same price. Nice. But yeah, I've got vinyl, t-shirts, a lot of the posters that I've designed, pretty much all the posters that I've designed for my own stuff is on there. Just cool swag like that. I am working on the third record right now, about halfway through with it. I'll give you guys the working title. I don't know if this is going to be the final title of it, but I believe I'm going to call it Make Believe, which isn't, I don't know. You can kind of, maybe that's the final one. Maybe it's not, but I like the idea of like make believe, like I'm going to make you believe something. I don't know.
I like it. I picture a chef cooking up some believe, That's what's happening, man. So Ty, thanks. It's gonna be a good record, man. I'm gonna say it's gonna be kind of a hybrid between the first two records. I'm doing some digital stuff, but there's a heavy analog side to it too. Like I've got a song I'm working on right now that has the mumble track method, but it's heavily Game Boy. Like I used the Game Boy to make most of the instruments on it, but it's also like really heavy at the same time. I don't know, Game Boy metal. I don't know what the hell it's gonna be. Is that an analog thing behind you? Is that that board? Is that an analog board?
Yeah, this is a Tascam 388. It's tape.
Oh yeah, it's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, the Tascam. Yeah, that's famous.
Yeah,
right?
The first couple Black Keys records are made with it. I think Jack White used one for a while. And there's something magic about 8 tracks, man. If you can't make a good song with 8 tracks, then you can't make a good song, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, man. I know. There's just something about the old school. Man, Ty, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for watching the Tuesday evening stream. We're going to turn to Pumpkins. It's midnight. It's about to turn midnight here, Eastern Standard Time. He's got another hour to go. He's over in Central. Yep. But if you're in the market for awesome custom t-shirts, check out fatenzo.com. For our line of pseudo-intellectual party shirts, check out fatenzo.shop. For Perry's and Proud Boy swag, check out proudenzo.com. I'm Bobby Pickles, and I've had an outstanding time with you today. I appreciate you very much, even though I said in the intro I don't. But I'll appreciate you even more more for liking and sharing this podcast. There's a 20-year-old nerd sitting in a back room at Google with cum stains crusted on his pants, deciding who wins or loses in life because he learned how to code while living in his mommy's basement. Now, are you going to allow that? No, you better not. So it's time to fight back, give that dork a slap by posting this to Facebook or Twitter or Parler. And always remember, friends, vaya con Dios.
He always says that's me. With that look on his face, he'll talk about anything. Outstanding. Tattoos, t-shirts, politics, history, and hot sauce on everything. Bobby Pickles. Pop culture, documentaries, conspiracy theories, sarcasm, and fear. It's a conversation, start listening, cause we're all here. Bobby Pickles Podcast. That's me. Proud of your boy.